definition of trauma-informed care can be remembered by 4 R's: realizes, recognizes, responds, and resists. It realizes the impact of trauma, recognizes the signs and symptoms of trauma, responds by integrating knowledge about trauma into organizational policies and practices, and resists re-traumatization. It emphasizes the physical, psychological, and emotional safety of both individuals, such as clients and participants, as well as service providers. It helps to build a sense of control and empowerment, and it's informed by 6 principles. It helps us shift our focus from "what's wrong with you" to "what happened to you?" The 6 principles it is informed by are safety, trustworthiness, peer support, collaboration, empowerment, and cultural, gender, or historical facts.
Now, we define trauma-informed public policy and advocacy as advocacy efforts that centers individual, community, and historic experiences shaped by trauma within their advocacy efforts. Promotes and develops public policy grounded in healing, redemption, and restoration. Develops, plans, and implements strategies envisioned by directly impacted communities to achieve more accurate and concrete solutions. Values the involvement, perspective, and the brilliance of directly impacted communities at the inception of advocacy efforts to serve as a true reflection and representation of community priorities. Provides an opportunity for real change in the daily lives of communities by putting their lived experiences in the driver's seat for progressive and transformative advocacy and public policy efforts. Now, when you're doing trauma-informed public policy and advocacy, you want to make sure that you have strong competencies in the areas of 1, community empowerment. It's important that you work with the people in your community to strategize around 1, identifying what are the barriers for people engaging in this type of advocacy, and 2, how do you overcome that? In addition, it's also important that you center the work around client advocacy, and that's working to identify the environmental factors and triggers on behalf of the community that you serve. Making sure that there's robust community collaboration to facilitate dialogue with the community so that we can work together to find how we can help one another. Collective action is making sure that you're working with other organizations to tackle the issues at a micro and large scale level that are impacting the people that you serve. And then finally, you want to make sure that you are socially and politically aware. That means having the capacity to move the community that you are serving and the public at large to look at the patterns at all dimensions, the history, and the systems of oppression in your community. Now, at the Black Futurists Group, we pride ourselves on the work that we have done on trauma-informed public policy and advocacy in a variety of areas, but mainly in the area of HIV prevention and treatment policy. One of the examples of that is our work that we have done around HOPWA advocacy and awareness. Now, for those of you who don't understand what the acronym HOPWA means, that stands for Housing Opportunities for People Living with HIV. In our work here in the city of Atlanta, we are in the process of creating a HOPWA informed tenant association that will allow people to provide their lived experiences and the disappointments and the trauma that they have experienced as people living with HIV who have been impacted by the mismanagement of housing opportunities for people living with HIV. This provides an opportunity for people who are HOPWA recipients to be in the driver's seat as it pertains to the advocacy and public policy reforms that are needed to improve their housing program.